only guest that I've ever had on any of my shows at any level, whether it's Philly, whether it's ESPN, whether it's Fox, whether it's Sporting News, whether it's this show on Twitch. Leigh Steinberg, ladies and gentlemen, is the only person who has one request when he comes on the show: the rim shot. There you go.
And I didn't even have to say anything.
No, you just give me one of these, and then I have to give you one of these. How are you, Leigh?
I'm doing great.
Good to see you. This is your 34th, right? Super Bowl party. Leigh Steinberg's 33rd annual.
But you know what? We lost a year somewhere. So
exactly. I lost a couple of years in my life.
Exactly. Well, the first year was 1985. So, and I assembled all sorts of people in my Berkeley house. There were a lot of sports writers there. I went to sleep that night. I came down the next morning, and guess what? They were still there. They were lying on couches. They were passed out. So there you go.
So this one, and it's always for a great charity. Leigh Steinberg, for those who don't know, super agent, obviously CEO of his own company. The list, we had Warren Moon on yesterday, Troy Aikman, Warren Moon, those guys. You were the quarterback guy when all these guys were becoming superstar players. But you've had quality clients all over the years, and certainly the one you introduced us to in Houston a couple of years ago, and I just played the interview that he did with us on Radio Row, Patrick Mahomes, and we all knew then that this kid was something special. And now here we are a couple of years later, and he's the most exciting player in the National Football League.
And this Super Bowl experience is such that it becomes the premier branding event in American sports. Mm-hmm. And so if a player plays dramatically here, they've got the opportunity to move into the celebrity-making machine that consists of early morning, late-night talk shows, People Magazine, all the rest of it. So I remember in '93 when Troy Aikman played the first time, and he entered the game. He was Troy Aikman, who was a very good quarterback. When the game was over, he was Troy Aikman in lights. And so you've got people that are not hardcore football fans, but they pay attention to this week.
And you know what, the thing about Mahomes, because we got to talk to his mom, I knew his dad, the pitcher. And so when you get clients like that, and you knew right away this kid was special, but the humility, the whole package that we saw in this kid, and you saw it, and he's your client, did you think it would get this good this fast with this young man?
No, it would be unreasonable to predict, because you see, when a quarterback goes out there, the more times they see the field, the defenses slow down, they get better decision-making, better reads, and all the rest of it. It was really helpful that he sat for a year behind Alex Smith, who was a very generous mentor to him. But he worked so hard, and if you like him on the field, you'll love him off the field, because he's genuinely cares about other people, faith-based, good, great, amazing kid.
And we saw it. We talked to his mom, and then he was so humble. He was talking about being recruited to Texas as a defensive back,
right?
And he said to Mac Brown, "I don't want to play defensive back. I want to play quarterback." And his dad, he could have played baseball, and he chose football, so he had a lot of options. But so you look at the Pat Mahomes from then in Houston, and you look at him now, and certainly getting all of this stuff around him under control. And that's what you have to do. You do as his agent. It's not just, hey, I got a contract with so-and-so to promote this product. It's about controlling the whole package, which is Patrick Mahomes, right?
It is. And I have a co-counseling, Chris Cabot, who does an excellent job interacting with him also. But the key is, we have a phrase, stay in process. And stay in process means continue doing those things that will improve you as a quarterback and give you a better chance to win, and to the exclusion of everything going on around you.
Leigh Steinberg, the 33rd party is this Saturday. I get the notices. So you're down those less than 100 tickets, right? And the greatest thing about this great event with all the people involved is the Make-A-Wish Foundation is the charity where a lot of the proceeds go this year.
It is. Florida International University and Wormhole Labs are sponsoring. What happens is that we're going to take some kids to the game, and then we're raising money to fulfill a lot of kids' wishes, and we're giving our humanitarian awards again to Stephen Ross, the owner of the Dolphins, and we're giving it to Brett Veach, the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, and trying to focus on positive things that people in football do away from the game.
And the Make-A-Wish Foundation is phenomenal. I've supported it my entire life. I think it's one of the great charities.
Leigh, one of the other things that you do, and I was hoping that I was going to be able to go to one, because even though I'm not necessarily interested in becoming an agent, you offer these educational tours that sort of transcends this particular field. It's actually good for almost anything that you're doing when you're trying to pitch people. And so tell us a little bit more about the educational tour that you have.
So what we have are two distinct training tools for younger people who might be interested in entering the field either of sports in general or sports agentry. And we give them an hour on sports media and an hour on sports marketing and branding, and then how to work for a team, a league, a conference, an athletic department, how to do sports philanthropy, how to do sports entrepreneurship. And then they get a mentorship hour where they get to talk to the people and actually get a jump start on their career. And we do it all across the country, from New York to Chicago to Los Angeles to Denver to Houston to Dallas.
Yeah, I remember the last time we had you on between Super Bowls, you came on the show when I was in Philly, which was my base, to talk about one of the upcoming events in New York City.
And we've done it in Philadelphia.
Yep.
So, but this is my attempt to bring along an ethical, principled, younger generation who understands the power of sports.
One other thing I hear, you got a Temple guy now this year as one of your
clients. Yes, we're
clients.
going to have him on tomorrow, I believe.
Beautiful.
Is it tomorrow?
Harrison Hand.
Harrison Hand, and of course, Temple, it's a big school in Philly. They've had some good. Matt Rule is now in the NFL, and so they've had some good coaches, get good recruiting classes, and the NFL is completely loaded with Temple University, really, really good players.
Temple rocks.
Well, it's my alma mater, so I'm going to be a little.
I see.
Hey, now, Leigh, we're doing something a little bit different this year. You are always the one that's giving out these awards, but we actually have something for you. It is a friend and a fan of ours who's this amazing artist. And every year you give out awards that are pieces of art from different artists. And Dan Duffy is his name, and he has he calls his studio Art of Words. All of his art is composed out of words.
And the words that mean something to that particular athlete, team, and he's done Eagles, he's done Giants, he's done rock and roll stars. So he did one for Patrick Mahomes, and he wanted to present that to you. And if you read it, all of the art, it has words, and words that mean something to Patrick Mahomes. So that'll be awesome. So if you can have that and put that on the
and Dan,
on the base.
I'll just read this here. Dan Duffy, he makes the art out of words. He would like to present this to you. It is an original artwork which was handwritten with Patrick Mahomes' stats and team scores from every game of his 2018 MVP season.
That is so touching. From the bottom of my heart, give him my thanks. It's absolutely splendid piece of work.
Oh, you should. I mean, anybody can go on to artawards.com, see some of the other work that they have. But this is the first time anybody is seeing this. It is unveiled here on Radio Row as you are being given the original piece.
The great Dan Duffy, and he does an amazing job. And if you look at his site, and you'll see all the different teams and individual players. He did one for the Eagles. He's done one for the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Ravens. And he just does incredible, incredible work. And he said, "Hey, can you bring this to Leigh Steinberg to give to Patrick Mahomes?"
Well, actually, I'd asked him last year because it takes him hours of research and doing these things to make sure that everything's correct. And I'd asked him last year to put something together for Leigh because we wanted to give you something for everything that you always give everybody else.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. I'm really overwhelmed. It's incredible. What a piece of art. Thank the artist so much.
Oh, absolutely. Actually, I have a letter here that goes with it. And not only – so he's going to be making reproductions of it as well, but there's a letter to go along with it explaining.
Thank you.
He'll be making donations to Pat Mahomes Foundation.
Awesome. Now, because he's in the Super Bowl, he probably can't get to the party this year, right?
we don't know whether or not
you
he's
slip him
coming.
in there
Ben Roethlisberger in 2006 came to the party, and he went on and won. So before Troy Aikman or Steve Young, they didn't come to the party. But, You never know with Patrick.
I know, that'd be awesome.
That is so kind of you.
Well, thank you, Lee, and we'll see you on Saturday. So there are tickets still available, right? So if somebody listening wants to get in, I know every day I see the updated. There's a few tickets left for the event on Saturday afternoon. What's the location this year? Because, every year we go to a different city, and there's always a different venue, obviously.
Soho Studios, which is somewhere in Miami.
You just get in the car. I get it.
It's not in Soho up in New York, but it's not in that Soho.
No, it's not that Soho. I know it's in Miami, and I'm sure that it's impeccable. We used to try to do the most iconic settings,
right?
And now the NFL puts dibs on them. But we did the back lot of 20th Century Fox, Hello Dolly, the set from Old New York,
the San Diego Zoo back in the day, and the aquarium. I mean, so many. Yeah,
exactly.
In New Orleans,
it's a daytime party where you like people to be able to actually talk.
Yes.
And also, it's just a wonderful event every year.
It's one of the Robin and I look forward to your party and then the Taste of the NFL more than any other, and that's a doubleheader Saturday because your party's in the afternoon, and then we go to the Taste of the NFL, which is another great event for a great cause.
It would not be a party without the Bruno contingent.
Exactly. Let me give you a roaring round of applause. I'll give you one last rim shot and then a roaring round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, Leigh Steinberg. Always great to see you, Lee.
I'm energized for the rest of the day.
There you go.
Let's go. Let's party now.